So this is the Axminster workbench. I don't rate it at all. So tooling wise, obviously you're going to need some form of clamping kit. So got one of them. This is 4th axis that I got for Spartacus. Never got used. The original vice that I had on the Ox. And well, I decided to get myself some steel parallels, but I bought it in a kit. Now I wanted 100mm vice, and the next video will be about on vices, so you'll get more info on it. But the actual jaws are only 35mm, so I've got a set of parallels here, nice and thick, but they're too big. So I'm sure I'll find another use for it. But yeah, so yeah, we've got boring bars. They come from a set with the boring head. Empty drawer dazzle. Plenty of boring bars, inserts, collets and stuff like that. They're mainly cheap and cheerful Chinese stuff. Looks like a junk to me with some 321 blocks in it. Quick change tooling system. Chinese stuff again. Couldn't tell you how good they are run out wise, but I'm really not fussed at the moment until I get the machine done. And most importantly, some measuring and test equipment. But that's not what this video is all about. It's something else I want to stress tooling wise and really going to need. Now the day this machine was delivered, it was pretty much normal, really overcast, cloudy day. It had been spitting of rain on and off, and I'd got the call that, you know, the machine had been delivered in the drive, been signed for. Obviously the driver wouldn't leave it without it being signed for, and well, I was on my way home. I was about an hour away, so I got there, saw the crate sitting on the driveway, opened the box, and well, it started drizzling. So that got covered up. Once it stopped drizzling, then it was right, that's it, let's get it out of the box and get it into the house, because that's where this went originally, where my other man cave is, that I call my room in the house. It's nice and warm and dry, so you know, everything's good. And I set this up and the Axminster table up in that room. That's what made me decide to get a shed. It was too big for the room. I felt cluttered. But anyway, got the box opened and I thought, well, it's going to start drizzling again. Now the weight of this thing, I think it comes in about 130 kilogram. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was around, yeah, 120, 130 kilogram. And well, my first idea was, well, it's on a pallet, I'll strap the pallet up and I'll drag the pallet round the back of the house. And that wasn't happening. So luckily it comes with a toolbox, which is absolutely great. The one thing I found it useful for is putting the parts in so you don't lose them. Tool wise, absolutely crap. Good job. You know, obviously I use a lot of tools at work, so you know, I had the tools. I had to strip this down into as many pieces as possible to get it to, you know, so it's going to be out the rain and that lot. Got it all back up together, screwed it all up. First thing that come off obviously was the guard with the switch, because that is just so annoying. It's in the way. The bar is so long, when it comes down it hits the table. So obviously that had to go. But the first thing you do, yeah, you've got to get some of your end mills out and you've got to have a go at something. Well, I had to go at this tooling plate, and obviously you go around your vice, and I'd put the vice on, and as you know, I'd even levelled with the dial indicator to make sure it was straight. And well, I'd done a piece, you know, just like this. You go and put your square on it and it's not square, and you think, oh, you know, there's a few things that you need to get for one of these machines, and one of the most important is one of these. It's for squaring the head up. This is from Edge Technology, this one, and basically is what it does, it goes into the head and you can make sure the head is actually square with the table. You can turn it the other way round, undo the bolts on your Z column, and you can actually square that up with the table. So without one of them you're not going to be able to square the machine up, and without the machine being square, well, you're just not going to get square parts, are you? So that's really what I wanted to get through in this video when it says on tooling. It is not actually what tools I've brought. It's just anybody that's going to get one of these mills, you're going to have to buy one of these regardless. I mean, there are cheaper versions. I think this was about 85 quid plus postage or something like that. But I gotta think, in my mind, I would sooner spend a little bit more on something to set the machine up perfect than get a cheap one and regret it later down the line. You have got to be careful of some of the things you buy. I mean, I buy a lot of test indicators at a second hand, you know, from an engineering firm that's getting rid of it, and you know, I find they've probably spent a lot of money in the first place, so I know I'm getting a good deal. Now, saying getting a good deal, one of the things to be careful of, I don't know how you actually pronounce this, but this is a Mitutoyo dial indicator. Oh, lovely it is. You know, I really do like it. It's, you know, it's a nice one. This is one I found actually in a second-hand shop. You know, it's just sat in the window, and you know, it was 30 quid. So you know, it's a nice indicator. But you can make a mistake if you don't read properly. Now, this is another dial indicator, and at first glance it was Mitutoyo, someone will have to tell me that, and I spotted this. Well, it's even got an inspection certificate and everything, and I got this off of eBay. Now, the trouble is with me, I tend to scan a lot. You know, I'll go down a list and I'll say, oh crikey, that's good. But this is, I thought this was a same Mitutoyo, Mitu. I'm going to start calling them Mitu for short. Now, I got this and I thought it was, but this is actually, what do they call it? It's spelt exactly the same as this, but all the T's are L's, so it's a Miluluyu. So quickly say that. I don't know if this will focus onto that, but you know, I got that, and well, to be honest with you, that's where it's going. You know, I just don't want to use crap like that. I'll probably find out. Someone will probably, I've never heard of them make, obviously, but someone will probably go, but they're actually good gauges. Well, not no more, because it's a bit buggered down there. Anyway, that's what I wanted to get through to you on tooling, like I said. Well, yeah, that's tooling. Well, that's another video where I've just been yapping away. But you've got one more video to come, which is me just yapping. Next one, which is vice considerations. You know, what vice have I chosen and why, basically. So I'll see you in the next video on vices.